Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the note-taking techniques that I use for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We'll be covering both the written format of notes, as well as a review of the Kimura BJJ app, which I have found quite interesting. And it helps illustrate the way that I have been thinking about learning moves and chaining attacks and creating sequences that work for me. Now remember, I'm only a 4-stripe white belt. Okay, so I'm not even a colored belt. I am no one. But I think that the way that I have been learning has been fairly successful. I've been able to win 2 gold medals at IBJJF competitions at middleweight adult divisions. And so, I'm not an authority on anything, but I have found a system that works for me, and maybe it will work for you. Certainly, I anticipate that the system that I'm using now will become outdated fairly quickly as I learn from my professors, and they teach me and everything. But I just wanted to share this with you, anyways. So first, we'll take a look at this training journal. Okay. So this is like a cute little thing that my wife gave me for a holiday. I think it was maybe Valentine's Day or something. And I just really like this thing. It's really cute. The format actually doesn't work for me very well. I think there are some things about it that I would change. But as it is, it's okay. You can kind of see the format here. These are some of the very first notes I've ever taken. It contains a content/index in the front, which I have obviously not utilized. So yeah, I haven't actually used this notebook to go back to very much. So I'm not like referencing it again to learn some of these things, but rather I find that the note-taking process itself, I'll go to class, usually the 6 a.m. class, and then my work schedule would allow me to go to the coffee shop, and I could then take this notebook and I could dictate down in as much detail as I could possibly muster from beginning to end every move that we covered that day and anything else that I learned. And so that's exactly what I would do. And I found that process would help me remember the principles behind the moves, why they work, what not to do, what to do, things that might work for me personally, given my skill sets and my tendencies, and what I like. And so that's what I would do. I just put it all down in as much detail as possible. And these notes are probably completely, utterly useless for anybody but me. And they may not even be good for me to go back and reference again. But what they have done is help try and make more concrete the memory of these moves in my brain, so that I'm getting the most out of my training and I can continue to learn, even if a lot of these moves won't be repped heavily and I won't, kind of put them into my repetition cycle, so to speak. You can see here that I tried to use some kind of color code stuff so that if I do go back and I look through these moves, I'll know exactly what I'm looking at. This is the position. If it's in orange, if it's pink, it's the technique. And there are things like here, like training partner. I didn't always fill out this information here for date, belt rank, instructor, weight, gi, no gi, both. Sometimes I did. Sometimes it's just not like super necessary. A lot of times I'll just strike out training partner. I think it's totally possible, and it probably would work even better if you just used a regular notebook. You probably don't even need anything fancy like this from Amazon. You can just make your own thing. And so this is kind of the principle here. I did like this one important thing that you want to remember about today. I find that a good practice. I'd have to institute that in the next notebook that I start working on, right? And so these are just kind of examples of what I've been doing. And sometimes I'll even like mess up something and I'll have to X out the whole thing because I'm not even sure that what I wrote down is proper, right? So it's really important to me that when I'm writing these skills down, that I'm confident that that's how it was taught and how it's supposed to be used. So this is the written version of it. And then to illustrate to you how I have been doing, creating chain sequences, attack sequences, and things like that to try and chain moves together. Because really for me, that was really very early on, one of the biggest deals was trying to chain moves together. So let's go to the Kimura BJJ app. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Failed to fetch featured lessons. Please try again. Okay, well, that's okay. So we have the home page here. I haven't been here in a little bit, so we can add moves or techniques. Moves or techniques, our graph, discover moves, discover different chokes, side control, attacks. You can explore these things, and they have different like illustrations and such, maybe even videos that you can learn from, which is really cool and useful, I think. The lessons here I found a little cheesy. You can explore here by topic, Stoic philosophy. Martial arts and history is cool. Black belt insights, BJJ mental models. The Stoicism philosophy is a little cheesy, but other than that, I think it's kind of cool. So let's go to moves. So we're going to create a move here, and we're just going to start with like a basic attack chain from closed guard. So we're going to say closed guard triangle. Okay. And whatever, gi, no gi, doesn't matter. And then in here we would give a full description of how to conduct that move. And this is, I assume, is going to be significantly different for most people. So you can just put in descriptions that work for you and mesh with your brain. I'm not going to put anything just now. And then we have tags here, which are really nice. So if these are like really basic foundational moves, they're going to have tags that will make it easier for you to find later. So we have this one here, triangle choke. And then if you want, you can even add YouTube videos that you have found and link them up, or link other moves, which we're going to use in a moment. So we're going to go ahead and save this one. Perfect. Oh, and that's why we can't save anything, because we're offline. So let's go ahead and go online real quick. So we are going to save this move, title, description, at least one tag retire. Okay, I did one tag. Let's do closed guard. See if closed guard is in here. Closed guard, save. I don't know what's happening here. Let's try and open or close and open it again. Okay, so now that we have one of our moves in here, we're going to see we have 3 techniques that I've already recorded. So let's go to our graph here, and when we add in our techniques, then we're going to see that there is a little graph that starts forming, right? And so this is our closed guard attack chain. It's a very closed, classic, foundational attack chain between omoplata, armbar, and triangle. Okay, so this is our starting point with this whole note-taking process. And this is kind of the approach that I've received from my professors and from the people who teach me, and has benefited me and allowed me to succeed in competition. Okay, is finding a very strong position. For me, it's closed guard, and then working from that strong position to a strong attack chain. So then from here we can even add more things in, and then you can branch off. So if you want to add in different moves, like I don't know what would be like an easy thing, like if you want to do like a bread slice choke into like a Cantu choke or whatever, different types of moves, loop choke, different chokes that might be available at like half guard or side control or whatever. And you'll just chain them all together. And so this is really, and here's the thing. If you're thinking this way and you're trying to create these kinds of attack chains, you're not going to actually need to use this app, I don't think. But having the visual here and being able to take a look at things and be like, man, what does my game look like right now? And see what your attack sequences are, things that you have decent percentage success rate attacks with is a decent idea, right? So this is way less about my proficiency in jiu-jitsu and way more about what I have learned in my studies in psychology and counseling as both a bachelor and master's student in learning, right? Because we want to be able to anchor our content, whether we're learning jiu-jitsu moves or we are learning content about sleep paralysis and I don't know, UFO attacks or whatever. We want to be able to create anchors to other content that we've already mastered. And so that's kind of the approach that I've been using with jiu-jitsu is I will become familiar and kind of not master something. You can't really master anything at white. Maybe you can. I have not. And something that you're really familiar with, and then start there and then anchor something else onto it and try to find ways to put it all together to where you can use them in succession. So I'm definitely open to, this video is almost like an ask as well for people who have input on how I could improve this mindset, illustrate to me the weaknesses of it, the short-sighted aspects in it, which I'm sure are there, right? You don't know what you don't know. You have to ask others that are more knowledgeable. And just let me know what your learning techniques are like. And if you guys like the Kimura BJJ app, I highly recommend that you download it. I would actually love, and this is just my plea to the developers of the application, please put it on browser or desktop, because it would be a lot easier for me to navigate everything with a mouse and keyboard and create all of the text and typing that I would need. Alternatively, I think there are a lot of different like slideshow or Google Office utilities that you could use to create graphs that could serve the same kind of purpose. And being able to share and look at other people's profiles would actually be pretty cool too. Maybe it would like start a bit of an issue, because if you're like wanting to look at someone's Kimura profile and you're learning all of the moves that they know so that you can like figure out counters to them, maybe you want to put your profile on private, not let anybody see it, and you're very kind of discerning with who you're going to let see your profile or not. You're going to share it with your coach and that's it. I don't know. Maybe that would be a cool like little like revival of a Facebook universe. Probably not. So anyway, if you guys like the Kimura app, definitely download it. If you like this video, you may also like some of the videos that I have done commentating on my most recent competition footage. So be sure to either click that video at the end of this one, or you can find a link to my most recent competition commentary in the description below. So I'll also include an affiliate link to this jiu-jitsu training journal if I can find one. And if you use that link to purchase the journal, then I will get a cut of it, and I would very much appreciate that. So yeah, give me your feedback. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye now.